Girl, stop playing. Welcome back to another episode of the Girl Stop Playing podcast. It's your favorite homegirl, Koereyelle, here to encourage you to stop playing with your potential and start working for what you want. You already know that I believe you can make the money and you can get the honey. You can have it all as long as you are willing to work. And in true gotta make it happen fashion, your girl is out of the country. I'm at my last work trip, my last event before I go on maternity leave, and my microphone, my travel mic went out. So don't leave me no mean comments if the audio quality is not that amazing this week. I am on my phone because I said I am getting this message out by any means necessary. So without further ado, before we get into this soul snatching solo sermon that y'all are truly in for a treat with, I have to remind you that my new book, Nobody is Coming to Save You, drops this week, November 17th. It will be available for you. It's not a pre-order. It's a real order, y'all. So go ahead and get in where you fit in. The link is down below in the show notes or in the show description, depending on whether you are listening to this on an audio platform or on YouTube. Regardless, you'll be able to find the link to get on the wait list so that you'll be the first to find out when it's available. And I appreciate your support in advance, but don't just buy the book to support your girl and not actually read it and be inspired by it and take action from it. Inside of this book, Nobody is Coming to Save You, you get access to the real life, true stories of 8 amazing Black women who have literally faced the toughest times in life, but managed to pick themselves up, pull themselves together, discover their purpose, and find some pretty creative ways to get paid. So definitely make sure you grab your copy or 2 or 10. Make them stocking stuffers for all your favorite girls this year, because it truly is an inspirational, easy read for someone who needs a little word of encouragement. Now, with that being said, it's no surprise that the theme for me in this season is, and the theme for me in several seasons, the theme of my life, I would say for the last decade, truly is just that nobody is coming to save you. And so with that in your spirit, I want to understand, I want you to really think about whether you've been waiting around for some savior to come along, or have you honestly been taking actions to save yourself? And when I say some savior, I don't even necessarily mean some person, but if we're being real, there are a lot of women, myself included, who feel like, or have at one point in your life felt like, if a husband just comes along, I won't have to work anymore. Or I'll be able to, chill a little bit more, relax a little bit more. Life will be a little bit more set up when I have a partner. Some of us are truly waiting around on a man to come save us. Some of us are truly waiting around on a position, on a partnership of some sort, on a job to come save us. And what I need for y'all to believe in this little bit of time that we have together, I need for y'all to understand that none of those things can replace you understanding how to save yourself. And so I am challenging you to dig deep and do some self-discovery to find out if you ever truly freed yourself from the memories of mistreatment so that you could start manifesting what you desire and what you deserve. Now, I know that forgiveness may seem like it's completely unrelated to your success, but it's directly related to your healing. And you would be amazed at the space for greatness that you'll create once you start clearing out all of that baggage that you've been holding on to. So you got to get rid of that baggage so that you can finally create space for your blessings. Because a lot of us allow the people and the things that hurt us to go unaddressed. But even when those disappointments are laying dormant, they could still be doing damage and stunting our growth. Holding on to your hurt can keep you stuck and feeling forgotten about, really. But what we all really need is to properly process forgiveness. Let go of those toxic ties and not allow our wounds to become weapons. Because if we're not mindful, we'll allow the things that people have done to quote unquote, done to us. We'll allow all of those things to keep us from going after what God has for us. We let our lack of confidence convince us we're doing something wrong. We let people prey on us with their opinions. We allow people to subtly use and abuse and gaslight and manipulate us into making decisions based on doubt. Then, when we realize that we're being played, we're pissed. And we start putting up these walls to protect ourselves that sometimes end up blocking us from our blessings. Our wounds may cause insecurity. Those wounds may cause us to have trust issues. Those wounds may cause us to think somebody is always out to get us. Our wounds may cause us to feel like nobody has our best interest at heart. Our wounds may cause us to see opportunities as obstacles. So if you are serious about not letting those wounds become your weapons, 4 things that I think you can start out doing. The first thing that you got to do, and it might be the hardest, the most unlikely suspect, but one of the first things you got to do is you got to forgive yourself. You really have to give yourself grace on your journey and know that every season brings a lesson. Your goal isn't to avoid failures or avoid those challenges. It's to learn the lessons from them so that you can take those lessons as tools into your next season. So you got to forgive yourself for trusting the wrong people. Forgive yourself for going against your better judgment. How many times have we done that? Forgive yourself for not getting it right. Forgive yourself for messing up again. And be willing to release the need for perfection, because that perfection can literally make you a prisoner going after something that's impossible. So you got to be willing to forgive yourself. You also got to make note of recurring relationships. They say, history always repeats itself, but I think it's people who repeat the same behaviors. So what are your behaviors that you consistently repeat? Relationship after relationship, job after job, position after position. What part of you did you bring into every one of those experiences? What common challenges have you faced in those areas? Can you see a pattern? Are there any similarities in your recurring relationships? Your relationship with money, your interpersonal relationships, your romantic relationships, your friendships, even with your family. At the end of the day, the common denominator is you. So, what recurring patterns or themes can you point out, make note of, and then truly move on from? So not only do you have to forgive yourself, you have to be willing to make note and really think about those recurring relationships. Then you got to seek support. The majority of us have gotten ourselves into challenges so deep that it's going to take professional help, outside of ourselves, to get us out of these situations that we got ourselves in. The same person who got you in that mess is probably not the right person to get you out. The same mindset and beliefs that got you into this are probably not the most equipped, the most qualified to now get you out of it. You need help, and that's okay. Whether that help is a therapist, a life coach, or whatever else you may seek for support, find an outlet that allows you to be 100% honest so that you can finally address the underlying issues and allow yourself to go confidently after everything God has promised you. So be willing to seek support. And then last but not least, you got to be willing to take accountability. One of the biggest mistakes we can make is not holding ourselves accountable and taking ownership for our decisions. Now, I know we can't predict or dictate the outcomes in most situations, but we can surely control our decisions and our actions. So, what role have you played in relationships that didn't work? What could you have done differently in those friendships that fell apart? How can you identify areas of growth so that you can show up as the best version of yourself and become a magnet to people and things that are in alignment with your divine assignment? Until you can take accountability and show up as your truly authentic self, you're not going to be in alignment. So unless you want to allow those wounds to become weapons, which is going to do nothing but hold back the people that God is sending you to be a blessing to you. If you don't want to do that, then I truly want you to spend some time thinking about what you need to forgive yourself for. What decisions, what situations, what mistakes do you need to forgive yourself for? Make note of the recurring relationships, the recurring themes that you're seeing time and time again, from person to person, relationship to relationship, situationship to situationship. These same things keep happening. What are those things? How can you identify them so that you can learn whatever lesson you're supposed to be picking up once and for all and move on from it? Then you got to be willing to seek support and take accountability. I believe that God has something great for you. I just know that He has so many blessings assigned to you. But if you don't shed that struggle story, release that baggage, and recognize who you are and whose you are going to continue to find yourself feeling stuck, not realizing that it is your past that's keeping you from truly living your purpose. I love you. I want nothing but love for you. And I can't wait for you to get your hands on this book, because truly nobody is coming to save you. See you on the next episode.